Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about another company and how their head spokesperson, the CEO, has supported President Trump, which has caused the public to obviously go after them. This is a very common thing that's happened a number of times to Trump supporters. More specifically, it recently happened to the owner and operator of My Pillow. My Pillow has a CEO named Mike Lindell, and he's been a great Trump supporter for a long time now. He's a cool guy who spoke with the president, did a press conference with him, and it was very similar to the news story we're talking about today. Because also, what happened to My Pillow's Mike Lindell was he got a lot of backlash. People tried to attack him. They acted like they were going to protest his company and all that kind of stuff, and that's because he supported President Trump. Supporting Trump is all it takes. Going after the president and his supporters is the big highlight of these liberal wannabe activist careers. So that's why they go after Mike Lindell. And it's also why they're going after today's new topic. Today, we're talking about another company called Goya. Goya makes food products, namely more Hispanic influenced ones. They have a lot of stuff like beans, rice, other ingredients, and things like that. A really good company. I've used them before. I've bought their beans and stuff all the time. They're always at the supermarket. And now their CEO has a similar situation where they spoke out to honor President Trump, saying he's doing a good job, which he is. That's true. Trump is the best. But he's getting attacked, and people are even deciding to maybe boycott the Goya company because of this. Now, this is actually a little more interesting because boycotting a food product company, they're much more prevalent and something you buy each and every day. Everyone has to eat every day. So this food company getting a boycott might actually have more of an effect. With My Pillow, it was a little trickier because you don't buy pillows too much. Like My Pillow is more like a company. You might buy something from them once a year, and then you have your pillow, and then you might get some more for friends. But it's not nearly as prevalent as a food company is. So that's the story. We're going to get to Goya and what they said and why this Trump supporter has got himself into a little bit of a hot water and why he doesn't deserve it either. We're going to get to all that and more soon. But first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. Now's never been a more important time to be safe and get yourself a very effective and very useful face mask. That's why today I'm going to be very excited to tell you about this new deal coming from our friends at Freedom Mask. You can save up to 60% and order yourself a very stylish, very comfortable, breathable mask right now. And it has replaceable filters, which I really love. That's why I recommend using this great quality product from Freedom Mask. Click the link below and you could get yourself a Freedom Mask today. And you'll also be supporting this show while you do it. So thank you for your time. Enjoy the mask. You're going to love it. And for now, let's get back to the show. Great. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump right into the story. This article from the Washington Post has more details. It says, Goya CEO said the U.S. is truly blessed with President Trump. Latinos are now boycotting. There you can see some of their products. Goya this, Goya that. Very, very fine stuff. Good things to support. And a silly thing to boycott. You're saying Trump is a good leader and he's truly blessed to be a part of the US. Is that really a crime? Can people not have opinions? Are you not allowed to have an opinion now? What do you think these boycotters would say if we told them, I'm going to boycott you and your stuff because you're not supporting Trump? Can you have that on the other way? I don't think so. I think you could tell there's a bit of hypocrisy here, and they feel this entitlement too. It's like a cancel culture mindset. They want to go after people that are connected to Trump in any way. And I mean, really, this company guy, he has a right to say this too. He has a right to be a supporter of who he wants. Now, he is choosing to, in a way, associate the company with that. He's doing it on a bigger stage, but this could also be argued as a benefit for the company. He's getting involved with a world leader. He had a speech with him and stuff. So I don't see the big issue. The article has more details, so let's go ahead and check it out. As Goya Foods CEO Robert Unanue stood beside President Trump in the Rose Garden Thursday afternoon, the head of a corporation that bills itself as America's largest Hispanic-owned food company remembered his grandfather. The Spanish immigrant and Trump have something in common, Unanue said. We're all truly blessed at the same time to have a leader like President Trump who is a builder, and that's what my grandfather did, the executive said. He came to this country to build, to grow, to prosper. And so we have an incredible builder, and we pray for our leadership, our president, and we pray for our country that we will continue to prosper and grow. Now, already, I mean, this doesn't seem nearly as biased or terrible as they claim. he's just being a positive person and talking about building and growing the country. It's very like I don't want to say vague in a bad way, but it's not like specific or political. Like he's not talking about like, oh, let's stop immigration or something, like, oh, we got to do this or that. That's like hyper political. Like let's support this thing. It's like, no, he's just talking about growing and prospering the country. He's talking about his grandpa was an immigrant and a builder, and Trump is a builder in a lot of ways too. Like, obviously he has hired people to build his big like things. So yeah, nothing really political so far. So far, the boycott seems like it's for very, very political reasons on their side. Like they're just shaming anyone lightly associated with Trump at all, which I think is a little extreme and a little like very polarizing. It's showing that we're in a day and age where you really can't say anything. You can't, you can't be political or conservative. Actually, it's not just any political. Really what it is you can't be this kind of wrong political. Like if they think your politics are wrong, you can't have it. You can be liberal. Liberals are totally fine. Liberals get away with everything. They're encouraged to be political even. It's like if you're not political and liberal, that's the problem. And then if you support Trump or say anything good about him, like forget it, you're out of here. But what were intended to be a celebratory comments marking Trump's signing of an executive order that pledges to improve Hispanic Americans' access to educational and economic opportunities instead fueled a firestorm of backlash targeting Unanu and Goya that culminated in widespread calls to boycott the popular brand. Oh, that's genius. Really great minority support right there, guys. So you're going to boycott the Hispanic-owned company who's supporting this Hispanic Americans education and opportunity system and all this stuff. They're given a great executive order to help this minority who's been a part of this country for a long time. But I guess that's not important because, oh, Trump. If Trump's involved, let's get rid of him. Let's talk him down. Let's remove it. And that's, to me, is just showing their true colors. It's like, man, they don't really even want to help people. They don't want to help this country or like save us or, make America great again or anything like that. Like all they care about is woke stuff and bashing the president. I think honestly, that might be why they're doing this. It's like they don't want him to help Hispanics and get Hispanic votes. And they want to keep vilifying him as this villain that he's really not. As popular clips of Unanu's remarks circulated on social media Thursday, Latinos and longtime supporters of Goya's food slammed the CEO's condemnation of Trump, citing the president's incendiary rhetoric and controversial policies aimed at minority communities and immigrants. Okay, I don't see any incendiary rhetoric and controversial policies aimed at minority communities and immigrants. I mean, what? Where are you getting this from, dude? Like, can you just settle down for a minute? Like, geez. By early Friday, Goya was still a top trending term on Twitter, along with the hashtags Goya away and boycott Goya, as a number of public figures and Democrats such as Representative AOC and former presidential candidate Julian Castro criticized Unanu, a third-generation Spanish American, for praising Trump. Oh, look, it's the sound of me Googling how to make your own adobo, Ocasio-Cortez said, sharing a video of Unanu speaking. Castro urged Americans to think twice before buying Goya products. So they don't care about Hispanics as much as they care about hating Trump. Like, oh, this company is Hispanic owned and has Hispanic food and it supports the community and we're trying to make this order to help the community. But no, Trump's involved, so we're boycotting them and we're going to go after them. And the other thing about this, like AOC and Castro are just nobodies. Like, I know that AOC is a big name now. Like, she's super famous, but it's like, who is she? Like, what has she done? She has no accomplishments. She has no like credibility. She's like the dumbest congressperson ever. If anything, something she says should be used as a joke. Like it shouldn't be used to support anything. Like the idea that AOC condemning it is like some kind of blast to it. It's like, no, it's like, it means nothing. And then with Julian Castro, this happens a lot recently. It's something I've noticed. It's like they want to bring up a lot of like people. They're like former candidate Castro or former candidate this, like candidate Stacey Abrams is one they bring up a lot. And then there was another recent one. I think it was like Carla Fiorini or something like that. I forget who it was. Like a former presidential candidate called out Trump recently. And I just don't get it. Like candidate doesn't mean anything. Like that just, to me, it's like a fancy way of saying this person lost an election. This person's not popular. Like former presidential candidate Julian Castro. I mean, that's not a proper intro. Like that just makes him look like a failure. It's not anything. Like anyone can become a candidate. Kanye West is a presidential candidate. Like people can write their names in. You can have a side election or something. Like candidate doesn't mean anything. Winning an election is interesting and a good preface. And maybe you could say if they said failed presidential candidate, I might let it go. Like, okay, they're just mentioning that he ran for president. But when they say former, like this kind of stuff, the liberals do with a lot of their people, like I was saying, and they just do that to try to give them credit, but they don't deserve credit. Like you lost the election. No one cares what you say. I don't get why that gives them credit. Here's Julian Castro talking about it. Here's some clips. Maybe let's check out some of the video before we wrap it up.
We're all truly blessed at the same time to have a leader like President Trump, who is a builder. And that's what my grandfather did. He came to this country to build, to grow, to prosper. And so we have an incredible builder, and we pray. We pray for our leadership, our president, and we pray for our country that we will continue to prosper and to grow. Today, I have an announcement to make that the Gran Familia Goya wanted to share with all of you.
So the announcement is the Hispanic executive order helping Hispanic people in our country. Again, this guy sounds even better saying it himself. We already went over some of these quotes, but he's just saying he wants America to be great. He wants to save us and prosper and grow and do well. I mean, I don't see why this is controversial. And the fact, I guess that's why they quoted that one part where he said we're lucky to have Trump, basically. And then he also called him a builder, compared him to his grandfather. I mean, these are nice things to say. And this is actually, if you go back in the past a little bit, people would try to support their leaders like this no matter what. And that's what's crazy about the Democrats now. Like, they wouldn't even support Trump if it was like us versus another country, like in another World War II. They would still be against Trump. Like, they would be against Trump if we were like in Independence Day, the movie, and we're trying to fight aliens. They would still like side with the aliens just because Trump's our president. And that just goes to show how crazy and biased they are, and how they're not really pro-Americans. They're not really for this country. They're only for this country if they're in charge and they get to do whatever they want. And is that really an American? Like, I've supported this country through the Obama years. Like, I'm not going to just quit and ruin everything and stop everything and just treat Obama like crap, or whoever the Democrat might be next time. Like, it's not like that on our side. We're civil, normal, rational people. And these guys are the crazy ones, going after Goya for no reason, going after my pillow, and just showing how very terrible they are. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Also, hit that like button to get this thing shared. Ba-boom. And then on top of that, subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell for notifications. Check out our second channel called NoBS News. And until next time, have a great day.